the official opposition, the Liberal Party, the City of Winnipeg, and I forgot to mention also we have a representative from the Government of Canada here. Associations, organizations, ladies and gentlemen. My fellow Barbadians, Canadians, and friends of Barbados, it's my great pleasure once again to welcome you to the Barbados Association Annual Banquet and Dance. This year, Barbados will be celebrating 52 years of political independence, and the Barbados Association of Winnipeg.
Terre ancestrale de la nation métisse. I'm extremely pleased to be here on Treaty 1 territory, homeland of the Anishinaabe peoples, homeland of the Dakota, Oji Dene peoples, as well as the Inuit peoples, and also the homeland of the Métis people. And it is also the home of each and every person who is here tonight, and we are all in this together. I would like to offer greetings and on behalf of our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, to each and every one of you, thank you very much for the wonderful welcome that I've had here. And I'd like to thank Greg Gaskin for the welcome that he gave to me when I arrived here, as well as his other volunteers. I'm very, it's a wonderful organization to celebrate 52 years of independence. It's a very important self-determination, the ability to decide for yourselves how you will govern and live, and not to be under the government of some others. I would also like to acknowledge the Honorable Jason Yearwood. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say tonight and your inspiring words. He gave us a bit of a taste of what he was going to be. He alluded to some things that he was going to be talking about, and it's kind of, I want to stay for the entire evening and for the dance, and maybe I'll get the chance to hang out and dance a little bit more with him. I'd just like to highlight as well, before we go, that about 148 years ago, the founding of Manitoba is coming up. It's 148 years since the founding of our province. And 133 years ago, just yesterday, was the anniversary of the death of our founding father, Louis Riel. And many of you might not see him as the founding father of all of us, but when he founded this province, there was a Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights and how he believed in a society was not one based on creed, nor color, nor religion, nor language, but one where each and every person worked together. And I think that continues to define what Manitoba is about.
Since its inception in the 90s, it has brought over 120,000 people to this province. So that's not a testament of any government. I think that's a testament of the people here in the room and the people across this great province here that have welcomed people from all around the world with open arms to come to the province to work together. It's not too many places around the world that you get to see this kind of cultural diversity mixed with the kind of prosperity we do experience in this province and this country. So again, I want to thank you for hosting tonight, and it is a tremendous honor to be here on behalf of our government of Manitoba and our Premier.
I was reminded of something Gregory wrote in his correspondence to former Consul General Bank. In the letter, mention was made about the association working on a new Horizon for Senior project entitled Bridging the Intergenerational Gap, whereby youth are encouraged to join the association. To this end, I have endeavored to focus on the topic of bridging the intergenerational gap. Now I'm sure that many of us, if not all of us, have sat and listened to some presentation about bridging the intergenerational gap. For those of you who may not have heard about this concept before, it simply refers to finding some method of unifying the youth and the more mature, and notice I said mature and not old, adults of our society. I don't want anyone to be offended, okay? Now you may ask, what does this have to do with Barbados' independence? Well, I don't know about you, but over the past 12 to 18 months, I have felt and noticed that life seems to be in a stage of transition. I am only but 26 years young, so yes, that feeling of transition can be attributed to the fact that I am becoming more entrenched into the nuances of adulthood. However, I submit to you that it is more than that. When I look around at my immediate environment, where I would have grown up, things are changing. From a micro perspective, my mother turns 50 this year, and though that is not an old age by any stretch of the imagination, it resonates with me that she is no longer as youthful as I once saw her whilst growing up. Further to this, persons that I went to school with once pitched marbles or played cricket with are now parents, professionals, and married individuals, whilst some of the adults encountered in my younger days from the neighborhood, from school and church have unfortunately passed away. From a macro perspective, let us be frank. Barbados is not the Barbados of years gone by. Infrastructure, superstructure, the employment and general political landscape, the production of goods and services, and much more have all changed.
Beautiful, beautiful Barbados, them of the Caribbean seas. Come back to my island, Barbados. Come back to my island and me. Please come back when the night winds are blowing. Please come back to the surf and the sea. You'll find rest, you'll find peace in Barbados. Come back to my island and me. Beautiful, beautiful Barbados, gem of the Caribbean Sea. Come back to my island, Barbados. Come back to my island and me. Please come back when the night winds are blowing. Please come back to the surf and the sea. You'll find rest, you'll find peace in Barbados. Come back to my island and me. You'll find rest, you'll find peace in Barbados. Come back to my island and me.
In the midst of these changes and the changes to come, for change is ever constant, the harsh reality is that my contemporaries and I, from an age standpoint, are the ones who must continue to champion the cause and the course of our country. What is funny though, is that we cannot do this without the influence of those who have gone before us. Similarly, for those who have gone before us, I am sure that you long for the day when you can see Barbados return to a place of respectability and comfort, or at least that we are on our way there. However, this cannot be done without the integration of the youth of our society. Yes, I know some of you, the older ones, must be saying at this point, you sound all well and good, but these young people don't listen, they think they know it all, and are just interested in the next technological piece of equipment to be launched that costs an arm, leg, and 2 kidneys. Whilst the younger folk must be saying, I don't know how he expects me to work with old people. They are outdated, slow, and just not of the truth. Well, there you have it. The root cause of the intergenerational gap. Without addressing this gap and finding practical ways of truly counteracting it, life and country will continue to transition, but without much or any progression. It will just be a lifelong tug of war. This evening, I wish to leave 6 practical points with us, 3 each for the youth and the more mature, as we endeavor to bridge this gap. To the youth, let me see your hands, those that say 30 and under. I see some hands going up. They're probably youthful at heart. But to the youth, I want you to listen carefully. The first 2 points is a 2-for-1 special, and you know that we like things that are cheap, or at least you get a special off of, yeah? For these 2 points can't go unless you have one with the other, okay? I first of all wish to encourage us to respect and acknowledge the efforts of those who have gone before us and pave the way for what we are privileged to enjoy today. Now, I'm sure that we've heard of all the stories of our foreparents, of how they struggled growing up, having to walk to school barefoot, eat dry biscuit and drink water each day, and had one uniform to last them the entire school year. But how many of us, instead of rolling our eyes and saying, here we go again with this same story, how many of us have truly taken the time out to acknowledge and respect and understand the humble and challenging positions that our forefathers faced, but yet persevered, so that we today may enjoy life as we know it?
For the freedom that we have in this land, that we could come together as a community like this, unimpeded, without fear, and we could have a great time together. There are many other places that we can think of who don't have this privilege, and we usually take this for granted. We are thankful that we can come together like this, enjoy one another's company, and enjoy the thoughts of others. I'd like to thank Mr. Jason Yearwood. What I found out, what has really touched me is that this is a continuation of the workshops that we've been having over the past months, weeks, and bridging the intergenerational gap. For many years in our association, we've been trying all sorts of ways and means to try to get the youths involved in the association. And no matter how we try, we couldn't get them out. But only within recent months, we're beginning to see a change. And right here tonight, we have seen some youths, and these youths are in our association. So we have already begun to see the change. And the project that we've been doing, bridging the intergenerational gap, has really opened up a number of avenues. And we have seen some of the handiwork of some of those youths. And my only hope is that they remain with us. We wish them all success as they continue. But my hope is that they will stay with us and continue to carry out the work that they have begun. We've seen tonight one introducing the guest speaker. We have one taking photographs. We've seen one making designs for bags and so on. And as far as social media, they're all already involved in the social media. So we are very delighted to see that change. Now, those things that Jason has mentioned surely resonated with me and with us. Respect. And that's the big thing, respect. One of the recipients of a scholarship tonight, one of the youngsters gave of his time on Saturdays to help those who had problems with computers, learning computers, who have problems with other things. And I was impressed, very impressed. And again, like I said, I hope that this continues. I'd like to thank all those in the association, members of the association, who have given of their time, their energy, their talent, in helping to make this event a success. But thankfully, every year, we have those who are willing to come out and share this evening with us. Share this celebration of Barbados' independence, and also share the number of years that our Barbados Association has had in the city of Winnipeg. I was also like to give thanks to the city of Winnipeg, Winnipeg, the Multicultural Association of Winnipeg, who have sponsored this event, helped us in ways. Without further ado, let's conclude. So thanks to everybody, and now we start for dancing.